Aging backwards. Well, we can't change our chronological age. We can change our biological age. With a few simple changes, you can actually back it up quite a bit. Hence the name, aging backwards. I mean, have you ever wondered why you can see a 50-year-old and maybe they look 60? Or you can see a 60-year-old and maybe they look 50 or 45. What's the difference? Well, it's all about lifestyle. And in today's video, we're going to talk about what we can do to make ourselves age backwards, look better, even as we grow older in our chronological age. Hi, I'm Adele, and welcome to Forever Young. You know, I was thinking back over my life, and I really didn't always do everything right. But the one thing that I did do right is I always exercised. I guess that's because, I started at 5 years old ice skating, and then I became a competitive skater, and then I went on to become a pro. So I always exercised my whole life, and I actually found exercise fun. I remember when Jack LaLanne, I don't know how many of you remember him, but he had a television show many years ago, and I used to get up in the morning and watch him and exercise. This is even, while I was ice skating. I just thought it was so interesting. He'd sing and he looked all, buff, so I would do my exercise with him. And as time went on, when I turned 69 years old, 69, chronologically, that's old. I had a terrible fall, and I just flew in the air, and it was bad, okay? And when I went to the doctors, the surgeon, he said to me, falling right now at this point in your life, he goes, had you not had the muscles you had, you would have been looking at a very disabling future. And so that exercise saved me, and I'm so very grateful, because muscles are very, very important to your body. They're the fountain of youth. Do you know that you lose 30% of your muscle? Well, when you're 30, you lose 3 to 8% of your muscle every year. When you're 60, it gets even more. By the time you're 80 or my age, you've lost maybe 50% of your muscle. So it's very important to keep strength training. That's the key, is strength training. Now I want to show you something that happens when you don't use your muscles at all, like when you have an accident or something like that. When I had this accident, I was in a full-length brace, and it was very uncomfortable, and I had to wear it, couldn't move. And my husband got the idea that, he should get me outside. So we asked the doctor if we could take the brace off as long as I didn't move much, So he put me in a wheelchair, and he said, my husband did, and he put me out in the patio. And he thought, I can get some sun, hike up my little baggy pants and get some sun on my legs. So we did that, and he took a picture. I looked at my legs and I was mortified. I'm telling you, they were shriveled up like an old lady. I didn't think they would ever get back. And I mean, this is what happens when you don't use your muscles. Now, well, the good news is after 14 months of rehab and working out and everything, I'm pushing 190 pounds and I'm fine, and my legs look fine. But that is what I went through, and that's how quick your legs, your body will atrophy if you don't do anything. Now, can you imagine if you didn't have an accident, but you just didn't do any strength training at all? You're going to lose all that muscle mass every year if you don't strength train. And that leads to something called sarcopenia, which is that gradual loss of muscle that we have when we age. It just happens if you don't strength train. I mean, this is why you see, elderly people, and they're shuffling when they walk. I mean, they're shuffling, they're bent over, poor posture. They can't get up and down from a chair. They can't even open a simple jar. And you don't want that to happen. But then, like I said, muscles have no age. They're the only organ in our body that has no age. If you strength train them, you can have the muscles of a 30-year-old at 70. So you don't want to get to be my age at 71 and not be able to do anything. I can do anything really that I want. So you want to be able to have the energy and to be able to do the things that you want to do as you age. You know, studies show that 150 minutes of exercise a week, which includes strength training, that's 20 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day, will reduce your risk of all-cause mortality by 18%. So that's quite a bit. I mean, all-cause mortality. Studies also show that if you're 65 and over and you fall and break something, you have a 50% mortality rate within the year. And that is, statistics are global too. So it's very, very important that you exercise. Now, how do you do it? Okay, if you've never done it before, or if you can't, you know, you're going to start, or if you've been doing it and you want to increase your weights, well, one, you can join the gym and you can have them show you how to do some strength training with barbells or whatever. If that's not feasible for you and you can't do that, you can work out at home. You can buy a light set of weights. I have some 8-pounders here, okay? You can take your weights and you can just do curls. That's it, just curls. No big deal. Just do some curls, maybe do one set of 10 or 12. And then as you get better and you're doing 3 sets, then you add more weight. That might take a month, I don't know. It depends on how strong you are. You can also take the same weights, hold them by the side, you know, of your body, and just get up on a chair and sit down. Stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. That's it. You can start that way, so there really is no excuse. Now, if you say, yeah, but I'm disabled, or if you're in a wheelchair, you can most likely do it. Most anybody can do it. You can take these types of bands, you can step on them in the wheelchair and just do this. You can take them, I've shown these before because these are great, behind your hands and just strengthen your arms. There are so many things that you can do if you really want to. So, you know, you want to start doing that. Now, you're going to need plenty of protein. Protein is going to be what will make your muscles strong. So you want to make sure that you're having plenty of protein in your diet. Let's say that you are 150 pounds. You want 1 gram of protein per ideal body weight. So say that you need to lose 10 pounds. So you would want 140 grams of protein, and you break it up throughout the day. So what's some good protein? Well, you can have pasture-raised eggs. You can have grass-fed, grass-finished beef. Don't do the ones with all the hormones in it because that's not good for you. Wild-caught salmon, no farm-raised salmon that's full of chemicals. You know, lentils, nuts, Greek yogurt, things like that. So you want to have a whole food diet. And that's very, very important for you to get enough protein, because remember, the protein is going to build that muscle. And not only that, it's going to make you look better and feel better. And you're going to age backwards. You know, if you don't do anything, you're going to age rapidly, and you're not going to be happy when you get older. And when you get to be my age, if you didn't do anything and those muscles aren't strong, you're going to have a different kind of life, and you don't want that. You know, I see this like way too much, and I see people doing, you know, running, and all of that stuff is excellent for you if you can do it. We want to do stretching and yoga, but I'm going to tell you something, those things are not going to strengthen your muscles for everyday things and for the rest of your life as you get older. So we want to strengthen those muscles. What are some of the other things you want to do? You want to make sure you take some supplements. That's why they call them supplements. Now, I want to say that I am not a doctor, so this is a disclaimer. If you are adding any type of supplements to your diet, please talk to your doctor if you're on medications or anything. But I think that we can all agree that a basic supplement program is a good thing, and that would be a great multivitamin. You know, I used to have a vitamin business, so I got to see what is in the vitamins. And some of them are filled with fillers and many other things, so it's not all that great. So you want to get a good, nice multivitamin. You want to take a good probiotic, an omega, your vitamin D, and your K2, because the K2 helps to show where to put the calcium so it doesn't go into your arteries, that it stays, you know, and so you always want to take vitamin D and K2 together, and then good magnesium. These are things that are just kind of basic things. If you want me to do a video on what I take, what brands I take, how much I take, and why, I'd be happy to do that. But that's a whole video. So let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see a video like that. And then you want to take a good collagen protein, or you know, any type of different collagen or protein powder. I talked about some of the things I've done over the years. I've taken Vital Proteins, I like that a lot, and I've taken Sparkles they have the Verisol collagen. I have a video on those collagens. And I also had mentioned that I had taken my favorite now that I'm taking to build muscle, and because this is a video on building muscle, this is the product. I'm not sponsored, but this product is called Perfect Amino, and it has every amino acid in it that you need, and it also is pre-digested, so it goes immediately into your system. Vegans can take it, and vegans, they have a hard time with taking any type of to get all the amino acids that they need, because they don't eat meat. They can do it, but it's harder. They have to watch it more. This will not break a fast. You can take it in a fasted time because it goes into your system in 23 minutes. Now, the only thing they say about this is that you don't want to have protein with it, like any kind of protein. Wait a half an hour to an hour, because what happens is your body will go and try to break down that protein, and then you won't get the full 99% absorption rate that you get with this product. This is a phenomenal product. I don't know anything like it. It will build the muscle, and it goes right into the system. And like I said, it won't break a fast. Now, when you're taking your other collagen proteins, although they're good, they don't really build muscle. What happens is they help the hair, they help the skin, yes. But what happens is they break down into the body, so you're not getting the full percentage, and some of it goes to sugar, some of it goes to waste. So I found this product to be very, very strong. As far as just always getting into your system. It's helped with my recovery. If you're injured, this is amazing product. So, and they're very, very good at this company. They answer lots of questions. They send you stuff, you know, reading more about it. So I really like, it's by Body Health, Perfect Amino. I'm going to put the link down below if you're interested in that. So those are the things that you need to do to build muscle. Remember, Dr. Gabrielle Lyons, who wrote the book Forever Strong, she says that muscle is the metabolic engine of our body, and it's the primary organ of protection. And she's the foremost doctor on skeletal muscle. So remember that. Start working out. Let me know what you're going to do, and I hope you found this video interesting. I hope you'll start taking care of your muscles because they're so important. And maybe we could just all age backwards, yeah? That'd be great. I'll see you on my next video.